from where I'm sitting, this is a good one right here. Just what we've got. So now this, all of you are experts at maintaining your health and weight. And what I'm trying to do here is to start by telling people a little about us and who we are, and also I want to show them how to test. Because for anybody to understand this program, those are the things that they need to understand. So everybody hold up your hand so we can see what testing looks like. Okay, so Ross has got her hand up and Keely has hers up, and you all test differently. That's one thing we're going to notice, is that people test differently. And so Barb's got her hand up. And test this question: have I ever cured a medically incurable disease? And see if you get a signal.
Yes.
Okay, let me see your signal, Barb. That's what that looks like. Okay, she got it a minute ago. I didn't have it on camera. Keely, test that question. Have I ever...
I did. Yeah, my ring finger's been bobbing.
Okay. And Ross?
I got yes.
Okay. And what does your yes look like?
My fingers open like this.
Just a little bit. They come apart, sort of, for you.
Yes, they come apart.
Yeah.
For no, very often they press more tightly together.
Okay. So now what I would like is for us to say the things that we've cured. For example, I've cured 2 kinds of herpes simplex virus, and I haven't had a cold or flu since 1993. And I've also cured a very, very serious case of hemorrhoids, completely gone. And that's more recent. And what about Ross? Say some things that you've cured.
Okay, I've cured the flu, and I usually don't get it anymore, and I can feel it when it's coming.
Right.
For example, from some of my students, and I can kill it before it gets to my physical body.
Right.
And then I have cured anxiety attacks. And
yeah, you were having
backache.
You were having panic attacks, yes? Did you have panic attacks?
Not panic attacks, not that serious, but anxiety.
Anxiety.
Attacks,
yes. Okay. I didn't know. So thank you. Yeah.
And then I've cured my smoking, and then I've helped my sister
let's pause a minute.
Before surgery.
Ross.
Working a lot with her. We worked practically every day together. We worked on the tumor she had on the bone marrow, and she was undergoing surgery for that reason, and she was very, very scared. So we went through traumas and lots of other things.
And that's your sister? Was that your sister?
Excuse me, I can't hear you well.
Was that your sister you're talking about? Helping?
My sister, exactly, yes.
So in other words, you've helped other people, like you've helped you're an English teacher, right?
Yes.
Like you teach English at a school in Italy, you live in Italy, and you've helped your students that see you in the school cure the flu.
Yes.
So your students don't get the flu, and they can come to class, right?
Yes.
So we've all helped other people. Barb has helped a great many people cure many things, and Keely, you've helped friends cure cancer and many serious things with people. And
I've cured, and I do IMMUNICS with my cat.
And you help your cat too, okay?
Yes.
And I help my cat, and Barb helps her dog and cat. And Keely helps the fish in the ocean behind her condo. she does IMMUNICS to keep sharks away when she swims.
No, I help the sea turtle.
Help the sea, that's right, help the sea turtles. Okay.
Right below my window.
All right. So just the fact that you were able, and Keely and Ross have been able to quit smoking. Barb, did you ever smoke?
I never smoked cigarettes, no.
But the
Cured other
fact,
addictions.
Ross did use this to cure smoking, and I think you can see from that, you know, when you think about that, that Ross can help you lose weight, because if you can help somebody cure smoking, you can help them lose weight.
Yes?
Absolutely. I mean, the two things are very, very related, and everybody who's overweight knows that. And in fact, a lot of people, when they stop smoking, put on weight, and they won't stop smoking because they're afraid of putting on weight. And when they're heavy, sometimes they start smoking to lose weight. People do that. They think, oh, if I smoke, I'll lose weight. That always works, and they do it, and they lose weight that way. So what we're going to try to do here, is help people who it's very difficult to help, the people who are watching this movie, as we all know, because we all have experience, you know, all four of us have experience trying to help our friends. And often they just don't understand that we know something that they don't know, and that they need to know it, which is pretty sad, you know, pretty tragic. That they really can't avail themselves of what we have to offer them. They're just not able to see it. You know, we have to, you know, we have to talk to them in a way that enables them to see it. So, so I want to start by saying.
You want us to say what we cured?
Oh yes, that's right. Keely, you go ahead and talk about what you've cured next. That's what we'll do next.
Okay, so I cured, about 12 years ago, I cured nodules and scarring in my liver, and a potentially serious liver condition. I cured low-functioning thyroid permanently, cured a tendency toward fibrocystic breasts, questionable mammograms. Since I started removing it, I never got questionable mammograms again. Cured countless colds and flus. And then non-physically, I cured negative beingness and just numerous issues.
Well, I want to go back to something. When you say that you cured liver nodules, one thing that we need to make clear is that you were medically diagnosed by, I guess it was one of the top doctors in Philadelphia.
He's the head of gastroenterology at Jefferson Hospital.
That's right, and he was your doctor, and he diagnosed you with liver nodules, and then you had a liver biopsy months later after curing this, and there was nothing.
Yeah, he couldn't explain why what happened to them, but they were gone.
We're miracle workers. And we can show people how to do that with weight and health. And so, see, what we're doing is we're kind of shooting two different programs here, but they're really going to funnel into the same thing. What we're going to do, all of us, there's something that the four of us have in common, which is that we have maintained our weight our entire lives. Like, I was a chubby kid, okay? And when I was 14, I lost the weight. And every time I started to gain it back, I did something so that it wouldn't come back. And so I've been thin my entire life, but I'm a classic, you know, endomorph type person who tends to be heavy. And I don't know about you, Keely, what's your story with weight?
I was a very chunky baby, and then it was normal as a kid, and then in adolescence I gained weight. I was always about 20 pounds overweight during my adolescence, and then I finally cured it, you know, after I started working with you permanently. That's when I cured it.
Okay. Barb, let's go to what have you cured? Let's do that next.
Never cured. I've cured a lot of things. I've cured clinically HSV1, Epstein-Barr. I use a lot of this preventatively. I don't get any colds or flus anymore. I've always tested, or often tested, things like cancer, Parkinson's, things like that, MS, fibromyalgia, but I've never manifested them. I've just cured them before I manifested them too intensely. But I've had those symptoms.
You've cured addictions.
I don't anymore. Depression, anxiety, addiction.
Your audio
I've
is
helped a
still.
lot of other people cure things.
Barb, your audio is.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know if we can do anything about that. Let's just go on. You've cured, yeah, you've cured addictions also.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's another thing that's relevant to what people are watching this, because, you know, this is the fast weight loss diet. And something that I want to say about the fast weight loss diet is, if it isn't fast, it probably isn't working. That's the thing that people need to realize, because normal weight loss is almost instantaneous. If you have a weight condition and you do the right thing, your body will immediately rally every one of its resources to try to lose that additional weight, because it's damaging you with every step you take and every breath you take. And your body doesn't want the weight. It wants to get rid of it. It's crying, screaming to get rid of, like, don't do this to me. So if you do the right thing, you will find pounds drop off. Like what we're talking about, really. You know, I saw a video where a woman said she lost 10 pounds in a week. There was another fast weight loss. I don't know what her particular program was. And what we're talking about here is basically, that's pretty standard. I mean, you could actually lose 100 pounds in 10 weeks. And, you know, most people say, well, no, you'd be very unhealthy. You'd probably damage yourself if you lost weight so fast. And the truth is the opposite. You would be healing yourself if you lost weight that fast. So to go back to Barb and ask you specifics about your weight, what's your weight life been like?
I've always been a smaller person. Around 1976, I kind of stopped eating. I discovered controlling my weight by just, I couldn't find anything good to eat, and I ate a lot of, you know, I got into health food back then, and that was when I had my surgery for my back, too.
Right.
And so I was always between around 90 and 100 pounds, actually, in college. So now I'm 54, I weigh 110. But I always into nutrition, so I knew a lot about food. And then when I started working with you, and even before, I had a clue about the relationship between my emotions and thoughts, and just being I wanted to be a feeling person. So I learned how to eat to win, I guess you would say, eat to stay conscious, and I wanted to get results and be in results. So I'm actually pretty good at not eating till I have a result, and then I know how to eat. I practiced.
Well, see, that's what we want to teach people to do, exactly what you do. That's what this program is. And here's the thing that I want to tell people. If you do this, if you learn what we have to teach you, you will be the right weight, and you will also be happy and feel good and have energy and be in control of your life and yourself, and you'll have real health, and you'll be immune to cancer and MS and liver nodules and scarring and fibrocystic breasts and all these things that people become mired in, and the flu. You won't get the flu, and so on. And that's what people need to know about this fast weight loss health cure program. Great health cure program, or whatever we want to call it. You know, that's what it is. And so with that, what I want to give some of the basic things that people need to know, you know, in this movie. This is like, you know, what I want to start people with. And one of the things I want to say is to actually begin the program, that people who are going to be in this program are going to need to be Facebook friends with us, because with all its problems and drawbacks, this is where we meet, and this is where the people who want to do this are going to meet the other people who are successful at it and who can help them. And see, one of the problems that, you know, we have in helping, just even helping our friends, is that they don't understand that we know something they don't know. So they think like they're getting the whole thing in this movie when we tell them this stuff, and they think, oh, I got the whole thing in that movie, and I know what, you know, I know what they want to say now, but they don't. And they have a lot of studying and learning to do in front of them. This is what people need to know. Like, you guys have paid your dues. I mean, you've studied, you know, you've worked to get to have this. All of you have. And also, you've developed intuition, intuitive powers. Like, you've caused yourselves to be intuitive. And so, like, you can read other people and yourself, and you know what's going on inside of other people. And you've trained yourself to pay attention to that when you don't want to. You know, when you want to believe something about somebody that just isn't so. So this is what I want to tell people, is that for the next movie, to see the next movie, they'll have to be my Facebook friend, because that's where the link is. The link to the next movie is on Facebook. And that's where they actually begin to assimilate the stuff that we're going to talk about next in this movie. So
they're going to see your name. They're going to see your name when they're watching this video, or they're going to know who to connect with on Facebook.
Yeah, and I'm going to put a link to it and everything right under this movie, so they can look down there and just click on it and go to my Facebook wall and friend me. You know, no problem.
Okay.
And now the link will take them right to the page that has the link to the next movie, and also the next page of this program, because this is a series of web pages. And now, so you can just look underneath the movie and you'll see the links. Whether you're on YouTube or on you know, our website, you'll be able to see the links. But now I do want to go into what we're the general overview of what we're going to teach people how to do. Okay? And so there are 4 factors that control metabolism, and all 4 of us are very good with all of these factors. Now, Keely, we did this together, so can you rattle them off? Can you remember what they are?
Well, in metabolism or weight control?
Well, controlling metabolism controls weight and health.
Well, movement and exercise.
Is 1. Okay, so movement and exercise is 1.
I know hormonally, I don't know if that was one of our 4 factors, but, you know, being balanced hormonally is another factor.
Hormonal balance would be caused by, and see, that again is metabolism, and that would be caused by a combination of these 4 things will balance your hormones. So one of them is movement and exercise, and another one is what? Can't remember.
I don't recall 4 factors in metabolism, but from what I know,
we wrote them together.
The right food combining and timing with your food.
Okay, so here, look, what does everybody know about this? That when you ask somebody, how do you lose weight, for example, they always say, well, there's 2 things, it's diet and exercise, right? Would you all?
I don't find that that's true. That was not my experience. I mean, those are components of it, but those aren't, to me, those aren't really the
actually,
fact.
You're not answering the question, though, that I asked. I'm asking you, when you talk to people and you say, how do you lose weight, what do they generally say?
What do they say?
Yeah, diet and exercise. Right? Ross, when you talk to somebody about losing weight, don't they usually say diet and exercise?
Yes, yes.
Barb, what do you say?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Keely?
I have a different experience. My experience is that with each person, they discover what it is to do the right thing.
But suppose they're just, you know, they haven't discovered the right thing yet. What
They have discovered the right thing. They've either made a change in their lifestyle or in their thinking.
Well, suppose they haven't succeeded yet. Suppose they haven't started, and you ask them, what do they say?
They're not going to give me any answers. They don't know.
Virtually, okay, I don't want to try to change your mind, but everybody I talk to says diet and exercise. And with diet is, what we talk about with diet is everything you ingest. So diet includes air, supplements. If you're doing hormone replacement therapy, it includes hormone replacement. Whatever it is, anything that's injected into your body or eaten, swallowed, this is one of the factors, one of the 4 factors.
Okay, right.
The other one is movement and exercise, which includes things like posture and the position in which you sleep. Anything that the way you use your body, the position that you sleep in. Then that's where most people stop. And there's still 2 more factors. And one of the other factors is rhythm. It's the rhythm of rest
The
and
rhythm of
activity.
what?
Rest and activity. The rhythm of rest and activity. For example, a person who feels tired in the afternoon needs to take a nap and then exercise. If they don't do that, they will tend to put on weight and be unhealthy.
Oh. True.
And this is something we all know. Now, Keely, you don't get tired in the afternoon generally, do you?
No, I mean I do, but if I get tired in the afternoon, I know there's something wrong. Either I've eaten the wrong foods, or my rhythm is off. But I find, and my yoga teacher also, he doesn't sleep much, and he never gets tired during the day, and he doesn't take naps. And I've sort of been moving away from taking naps. I just find that I'd rather sleep early. I'd rather go to sleep early.
Well, let's test something.
Get a full night's sleep.
Keely, put up your finger and let's test something. This is just a general question. Do I need to take a nap every day in the afternoon? See if you get a signal.
My fingers are absolutely rock still.
So no, you do not need to. Now, Barb, you test that and see what you get.
I'm getting it. It's good for me to sit or stop or rest or.
You get
really
yes.
Nasty.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, what about Ross?
I get yes.
Okay, and I get yes. But see, I'm totally willing to be with Keely. I think Keely got a real, like if I tested, I'm testing, did Keely get a real test? And I get yes. Keely doesn't need a nap in the afternoon.
But I do other things that have the same effect as a nap. For example, if I'm working in a rhythm for a long time, I'll get up from my chair and I'll go take a walk on the beach, or even just go out on my balcony and breathe in the air and listen to the waves for a few minutes. And those things have the effect on me of what I used to get from taking a nap.
So different people are different, and what we're trying to do in this program is teach people how to do what's right for them.
Right.
And this is a very important point about this, and the way we're doing this is with this testing that people see us doing, getting these signals. And see, people think this is ridiculous. Like, what did Roberto, your husband, Ross, what did your husband say when you taught him how to test, or told him about testing?
He talks about my mumbo jumbo thing.
So he doesn't relate to it.
I think we should change the name of IMMUNICS to Mumbo Jumbo. I handle a lot of minds.
Our Mumbo, he doesn't relate to it at all. So,
no. Well, I have to give him credit. He tried once, but he didn't get any signal, and then he decided it was mumbo jumbo, and it wasn't worth it trying again.
So here's the thing that we all need to remember, is that people cure cancer with this. And if the person listening understands that, maybe the viewer of this movie will say, okay, if people cure cancer with it, I probably can lose weight with it. Or I probably can use it to be generally healthy or feel good or have more energy or whatever they associate with health. So this is what we need to keep reminding people of. That
that reminds me of the thing we were talking about, negative beingness with smoking. I mean, there's probably the same component with weight control and weight loss if you're overweight. that there's a negative aspect of it, that because the people, now that I'm thinking of the people I know who have successfully lost weight, there is something positive that came into the picture that replaced that negativity that was with them, that they walked around with regarding their weight all the time. And I'm thinking of someone I love who needs to lose weight, and I think that there's a negativity there that she needs to dispel. And that's a really important component of her being able to lose the weight, finally.
Sure. Barb, what do you say?
Pardon?
What do you say?
About testing? I'm thinking about my girlfriend who I talked to about testing. She's like, why would I want to test? Why would I want to test? I just know things. I know what's right. I know what's wrong. She doesn't say it's mumbo jumbo. She just thinks it's an extra step. Like, why would I want to, you know?
See, because what she's doing,
maybe had an arrogance,
what she needs to understand
about thinking that she knew.
So she does get signals.
Pardon?
She does get signals.
She just is inside her signal.
She can test.
So,
and what she needs to realize is that she needs to be asking God questions instead of accessing herself.
Maybe that's what it is, yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear what God has to tell her.
She doesn't want fire?
She doesn't want to hear what God has to tell her.
Huh.
You see, because what we're going to get into is above these 4 factors that enable you to control metabolism. If you are spiritually dysfunctional, if you're a dysfunctional person, you can know what these factors are, but you will never be able to control anything. The essence of dysfunction is that you're out of control. You do not have control. So you do these dysfunctional things to try to get control. Everyone who's dysfunctional is trying to control something that they should have control of. 4th factor, drum roll please. What you expel. Expulsion, elimination.
Yeah, that's...
Pooping. And there's a rhythm. Remember, one of the factors is rhythm. It's rest, the rhythm of rest and activity and expulsion, and when you eat, and then what the relationship of when you eat and then when you exercise, all of those things. And the food combining is also a function of rhythm. And so these are the 4 factors. And now that I've said that, the very big but with all this is, but if you have what I call spiritual dysfunctions, could you give me an example? Somebody give me an example of being dysfunctional spiritually. Anybody who wants to. Come on. Kelly smiled, so I bet she's got one.
Well, just the same thing I was saying before is being in negative beingness, having that negativity that walks around with you.
Let me ask this, okay? Ross, suppose you got mad at your husband for calling it mumbo jumbo.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a spiritual dysfunction. No?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, suppose you were spontaneously mad at your husband, and for you just felt angry at him for not letting it in, and you didn't express it. Would that be a spiritual dysfunction?
Yes.
So this is hard stuff for people. There is no formula, and this is what I mean. In order to get control of your metabolism, you're going to have to get control of everything else. This is our message to the people who are watching this movie, and this is what the program is about. And
laziness is another spiritual dysfunction that affects most people who are trying to lose weight. In one way or another, they're being lazy.
And another one is what? It's wanting something.
Something.
And like saying, oh, like in other words, what I see a lot of people who are trying to lose weight doing is instead of testing what is the thing that will help them the most, what they test is, can I have this thing I want? Like they have a craving for bread and butter, so they test, can I have this? And they always get yes.
Test yes.
They always test yes. Let's all hold up our fingers and test a couple of things. Okay? Is it okay to be 100 pounds overweight? See if you get a signal on that.
No signal.
What?
No movement.
I got a signal. Ross, you got a signal?
I do.
No.
Ross got no. Barb got yes. So we got 2 yeses and 2 nos. What does that mean? It means that if somebody says, okay, is it okay for me? Am I okay just the way I am? You know, they test this. You know, is it okay for me to be overweight? They'll get yes, probably. Because here's another one. Is it okay to die? Test that question and see what you get.
Got a yes.
Is it okay to die? I get no.
What about you, Keely?
I get no.
What'd you get? You got yes, right?
Yes.
I see Keely's fingers moving. I got a yes too. So we have 3 yeses and 1 no. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Is that really all this is optional? We're doing this because we want to. Like you stopped smoking because you wanted to stop smoking. Is that right?
Definitely.
Yes.
You finally cured enough things so that you actually wanted to stop smoking, and then the next day there was no smoking anymore. You hit that last thing, whatever it was.
Not necessarily the next day, but
Well, I guess
it started the process.
Actually, no. I think it was the end of the process. I think that Ross was saying that she should. And Ross, let me ask you, what was that like for you?
Well, I didn't want to, as I told you yesterday, I didn't want to quit because I liked it, okay? But at the same time, I knew that I had to make a choice between living and breathing, or keep smoking and die. And die in a way that wasn't very nice, that's for sure. I had to go through a whole process of removing traumas, and it was very difficult, very, very difficult.
Well,
but I think I really got help because let me tell you that Friday when I decided to quit for good, in the morning I wasn't feeling well. I felt I was coming down with the flu. And I said, well, okay, let me remove the viruses. So I started removing, but it came back. And it went on all day. And then at a certain point, I realized that having this flu on me was making me reject the cigarette. So I understood, and I said, well, this is sort of help because I don't feel like smoking, and so I stopped removing the flu.
Huh.
I kept it because it was useful. It was functional at that time, you know. It was like, how can I say, like God herself was giving me a hand, telling me, okay, poor dear, I can see that you are struggling so much. Let me help you. Here's a flu for you, big gift.
Yes.
You know. And then when I smoked that last cigarette, it was so disgusting, and I decided to quit. And I decided not to remove the flu for the following 2 days.
Huh.
Okay? And I removed all other sort of things, but not the flu, because at the time, for me, it was a godsend.
I hear you.
Well, one thing I want to ask you, just a simple question, was there, Barb, are you on?
I can hear you, but I can't see myself for
turn your
Keely. I can just see Ross and you.
Just turn your camera on.
But I can hear you.
Turn your Barb. Turn your camera on.
Okay.
There you are.
So Ross, I want to ask you. I just want to ask you this really simple question. Was there a time when you were with the cure team, or just, on the cure team and you were in touch with us, even though you might not have talked to us that day, when you simply decided that you wanted to cure this smoking thing? You really didn't want to smoke. You wanted to be free of it. Was there a time when you said, I want to be able to go to the cure team and say I don't smoke?
Yes.
And was that right around the time when you stopped smoking?
Yes.
Okay. And whatever did happen with that flu anyway? You don't still have it, right?
Excuse me?
That was 6 months ago.
The flu that you had when you stopped smoking, did you ever cure it finally?
Oh, finally, yes, it went away.
Oh, it just...
When I had stopped smoking, it just went away.
Oh, I see. So, like you didn't...
I didn't care about being the flu. I had that strong feeling that it was a help to quit. It was making things easier for me.
It was making things easier for you.
Yes, you know that when you have the flu, the cigarettes have a terrible taste.
Right.
Even if I've always smoked, even with 40
sure.
degrees of temperature.
Right.
But it was help at that time.
Yeah, it's painful to smoke when you're sick.
Yeah, but I managed to do it anyway. Brave girl.
And then it was over. It finally ended.
Yes.
See, the thing is that what we want to do with the fast weight loss diet is we want the person to lose the weight fast and never, ever go back to an abnormal weight. Like it's just a continuous win, and they get better and better, and they never go back to anything else. That's the result of this. So it's the learning of a completely different way of being, and this is a spiritual solution.
Well, I'm thinking of my mom, who is now like small, and she was heavy all her life, and she lost weight fast, but it took her over a year. It happened fast compared to everything else she did in her life with weight. But it was also gradually in that, in her fast way of doing it, it took her, she was losing maybe a half a pound a week, but it was steady and consistent, and she changed everything. She changed everything, and she's been successful, and she's like a different person now.
Well, okay, what we're going to do in the next segment of this, I should just give people a preview before we stop. And then we're going to stop for the day today, and then we'll get together again. What we're going to do in the next segment of this is to actually tell people how to eat.
Great.
We're going to tell people, because see, one of the things that I know about all of us also is that we're all diet experts. We have all done different diets, and there's an overlap, of course, but we know more about more different diets than any 4 people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that we talk to people with degrees in nutrition, and they know nothing. All they know is what they've got their little formula, or we meet nutritionists, and they've got their little formula. They do hair analysis, or they do this some other kind of testing or whatever, and it's just it's so pathetic, and like we're warriors with food. Like we've been able to, and we're all great cooks. I know I've eaten with Barb and Keely extensively, and I'm sure, Ross, that you're a terrific cook.
I have to say that my husband does the cooking, and I'm a good cook, but he's much, much better than me.
Well,
that's great.
Well, you know what? Franny is a better cook than me here, but I do the cooking here, and she does the cooking for herself a lot of times because she's a better cook, But we're still masterful. All of us are masterful with cooking. So and I think it's very masterful that you have your husband do the cooking. I must say.
Yes, absolutely.
I think that's very good too.
I do my sambo jumbo, he does his.
Oh, wow.
All right, so that's our next step, is to actually delve into eating and what we put in our body and supplementation and, you know, various connected things like that, you know, hormone replacement therapy, chelation therapy, you know, things that, kalima fasting or whatever, you know, things that people hear about, read about. And I will say also that there's going to be homework, just to tell people if they enter into this program, there's going to be homework. And part of the homework is talking to us on Facebook. Because, you know, if you ask a question on my Facebook wall, there'll be, you know, there's people there who'll answer it. I mean, I may not see it for 8 hours, but somebody will see it in an hour or two and answer it. Because people are just coming there all the time and talking to each other. And some of us are these people that you see on camera here. So we'll see you there, and hopefully this movie is a meeting between us and the viewer. Like the viewer will actually choose to get in touch with us as a result of seeing this movie and bring us into his life as a brain trust. We're a brain trust for you. And to do this job of fast weight loss or health, that's what you need, is a brain trust. And you have one here in us. Okay, guys, does that feel good to you, all of you?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Keel?
Feels like a good stopping point.
Yeah, it's a good stopping point for this movie. Oh, okay, so everybody say goodbye. Say goodnight, Gracie.
Okay.
We'll see you
Bye,
later.
Ross. Bye, Barb.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
We'll see you later.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah,
See you.
It's been a
Wonderful
pleasure.
day.